Let's start the program. Japanese Trader Radio Part.044. Today is January 25, 2026 Sunday by Gift and Craft. 1 FX, 11 Surveillance, 111 Price Movement, 1111 this week's bid price of the target currency pair. Pound yen in the first half of the week, a rise in European currencies and a decline in the US dollar were seen due to the US-European conflict over President Trump's proposed purchase of Greenland. In the latter half of the week, the yen weakened due to the BOJ maintaining its policy interest rate. After that, the yen surged sharply amid concerns over possible foreign exchange intervention. 1112 this week's bid price movement of all currency pairs. Dollar yen from 158.1 to 155.7, minus 240 pips, minus 1.5%. Euro yen from 183.3 to 184.2, plus 90 pips, plus 0.5%. Pound yen from 211.4 to 212.4, plus 100 pips, plus 0.5%. Euro dollar from 1.160 to 1.183, plus 230 pips, plus 2.0%. Pound dollar from 1.338 to 1.364, plus 260 pips, plus 1.9 pips. Euro pound 0.867 to 0.867, 0 pips, 0%. 112 economic indicators. 1121 this week's economic indicators. 20th, Tuesday, 16, the UK unemployment rate. The actual is 5.1%. 21st, Wednesday, 16, the UK inflation rate YOY. The actual is 3.4%. 23rd, Friday, 12, Japan BOJ interest rate decision. The actual is 0.75%. As expected, the yen weakened after BOJ Governor Ueda's press conference. 23rd, Friday, 18:30, the UK S&P Global Services PMI flash. The actual is 54.3. 23rd, Friday, 18:30, the UK S&P Global Manufacturing PMI flash. The actual is 51.6. The UK economic indicators were generally strong. However, this week's movements of the pound were largely influenced by the US dollar. 1122 next week's economic indicators. 26th, Monday, 22:30, the US durable goods orders MOM. Previous minus 2.2%, forecast 0.5%. 28th, Wednesday, 12:35, Japan 40-year JGB auction. Previous 3.555%. 29th, Thursday, 4, the US Fed interest rate decision. I should pay attention to the decline in confidence in the US dollar following Trump's subsequent remarks. 113 this week's news and events that don't seem to be factored in. US-Europe confrontation and Japanese election. 114 next week's FX trading strategy and tactics. The euro and the pound have broken through the higher Bollinger Band, plus 2 sigma, reaching an overbought condition. In particular, since the pound has reached the body of its recent high, I want to assess whether a further upward reversal will occur and adopt a strategy of selling pounds and buying dollars. At that time, it is important to identify the shape of the counter trend. 1-2 order. Number 2, Vertification. At the beginning of this week, it plummeted to 210.7 yen as soon as the markets opened. The momentum of the price movement needed to be carelessly considers. Even professional traders can lose on individual trades. This trade ended in a loss and left a lesson, but I appreciate the fact that I incorporated FX trading into my daily routine before bedtime. In other words, if I can't trade FX smoothly within my daily life, I won't be able to aim for steadily increasing profits. Number three, new order. Market environmental recognition. Target currency pair Euro-Yen. Decision of gaze buy. Based on fundamental analysis, a rapid rise in the euro and a decline in the dollar have occurred, triggered by the US threat to NATO countries over the purchase of Greenland. The euro is faster than the pound, therefore I switched my target currency to the Euro-Yen. Based on technical analysis, a strong uptrend is underway. Basis of price for new order 185.207. On the 5-minute chart, the price temporarily fell from the recent high and bounced back, forming a mid-range consolidation. Basis of the stop order for settlement 184.770 on the 5-minute chart, far below the Bollinger Band minus 2 sigma. The lower limit of the cloud is at 184.770 yen, and it is currently rising. Basis of the limit order for settlement 189.800, assuming the yen remains unchanged, set the price when the euro dollar rises to 1.20 as the take profit price. Comparative consideration. The euro has risen too sharply, and there is a view that a significant corrective decline is likely. Judgment as a result, the behavior of the US is abnormal, and I believe that when strong corrective pressures from the market come in, it should be seen as a buying opportunity, however, to avoid it becoming bland. I should carefully follow the trail. Number 3, Trader 1. Decision of gaze buy. Based on fundamental analysis, due to President Trump's comments on taco, the rationale for the euro's strength has weakened, so a stop order is placed assuming the uptrend is ending. On the other hand, following the weekend strategy, I expect the yen to weaken as the BOJ keeps its policy rate unchanged, and I hope far further euro gains. Basis of the stop order for settlement 185.300. On the 4-hour chart, the area where the MA and the previous high overlap. Comparative consideration. The sharp rise in long-term interest rates in Japan is a factor for yen appreciation, coupled with the high volatility at the time of BOJ's policy rate announcement. There is a risk of hitting stop-loss orders. Judgment as a result, I should take measures to avoid losses. Number 3, Trader 2. Market environmental recognition. Decision of gaze sell. Based on fundamental analysis, I have adjusted my holdings based on the BOJ's cautious stance on interest rate hikes. Stop order 186.280 near the recent lower wick on the 1-minute chart, securing a profit of more than 100 pips. Limit order 188.0. Dollar yen 160 yen times euro dollar 101.75. Comparative consideration. Taking profits too early. I shouldn't be greedy. Number 3, ratification. Before the rise at Governor Ueda's press conference, it hit the stop loss due to a lower shadow. Suddenly, the yen gradually weakened after Governor Ueda's press conference, but due to what appeared to be a currency intervention, it surged by 2 yen. I was fortunate. It was right not to be greedy. 2 stock, 2 1 surveillance, 2 1 cash stock surveillance. 3778 Agent IG Holdings. Insurance. IT insurance. For a few hundred yen we can buy insurance with just a tick. Growth. Market capitalization 3 billion yen. Sales 0.8 billion yen. Operating profit margin 2.0%. ROE 1.9%. ROA 0.5%. Equity ratio 25.6%. Debt with interest 1 billion yen. Structure shows it has risen since going public, but the upside is limited. In conclusion, it has a small market capitalization. Within the financial service industry, it seems like an American-style insurance company, focusing mainly on investment sales, unlike the Japanese-style companies that adhere to the original purpose of the insurance business. I believe the investment was in a red ocean, and it's difficult to stand out. 200 Holding Brand Surveillance 6027bengoshi.com 3375 3220 3065 3040 Part 38 Long-term investment. The use of AI is essential for operating the judiciary. 485.8 Power X 2445 2439 2280 2100 2217 Part 42 Anticipating a 10 times increase and holding for the entire year. Ruling of Japan-China regulations. 2. Inspection. Holding. They were subjected to intense adjustment selling. Both are long-term holdings. Regarding Power X, I hope that relations between Japan and China will improve and sales will be as expected. Before selling order, with the merger of Rikken, Minshito, and Komeito, analysis has begun to suggest that Jiminto might lose the election due to the Japanese tendency to back the winning side. There is a risk that the Takaichi administration could fall. Regarding Takaichi's stock, it's necessary to consider the timing of exiting by this weekend. 3. Others. 3-1 alcohol and sleep quality. As has happened before, I slept deeply and overslept on the morning of the second day of my sobriety. The deep sleep helped me make up for the lack of sleep I'd had, and I was able to spend the day feeling refreshed. I need to improve my lifestyle before my liver gets worse. I should be able to implement a morning routine based on my trading rules. Thank you for listening. Bye!